Sup guys, Juggalo here. Welcome to PC News. You can use number 9. If you see lines going up like a scanning deal, it's the TV. And it's basically the camcorder is picking that up. The human eye cannot pick it up. If I was picking that up with the human eye, this would have been returned the first day. But anyway, let's get into some news that you can actually use. Battlefield fans, we're getting screwed again by DICE. Basically, they're delaying the patch, but they're saying, oh, we'll have downloadable content too, and it's going to be in spring. So I expect that patch to be here in 20 days or so. That's when spring hits. So if not, I'll call DICE up personally and start complaining to them. So let's see how they like that. Next up, Kepler news. Kepler news. We got 3 news articles dealing with Kepler. And I'm hoping that the camera can pick it up and not give you those funky lines. Alright, I'm wondering if this is going to be behind me, and it is. So if it's doing that, let me go ahead and see if I can do view image, so it'll be over here. Wow, that's really small. But on my TV it's really big, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, this is the power connector right here. More or less, it is stacked up on top of each other. If you can't see that, it's like this. Like power connector here, power connector there. So I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get a higher quality picture up. View image. And it's still uber small. But it's right there. Hopefully the TV is making it big enough so you guys can see it. If not, all the news articles will be in the description below, and I think I have to sneeze. Whew. Alright, here is, wow, that is really big, so I'm gonna have to get out of the frame. But basically this is the PCB, and I'm gonna go ahead and check with wifey to see if that is, yeah, that's all in the shot. That is a really huge picture. Thank God I got this TV. But it's totally new layout and everything. This is what the PCB is going to look like. So there it is, and I'm trying to find out, well, I know they moved the VRAM from over here to all in here, and then they'll have the RAM still around it. So I think I have another news article, but there's Kepler right there. Okay, let me see if I can go to the, here we go, and here's an actual picture. I don't know if I can be able to pull this up and get it out of the way. View image. Alright, it's not as big, but here it is right here. The VRAM, or not VRAM, but excuse me, the regulators are all here. And then the RAM, or VRAM, is all around here. And then if you're wondering why it's not, or doesn't have a lot of RAM, this is probably going to be their low-end model right here. So, RAM here, down here. This right here is probably the regulators right here. So, and then here's the connector. You sort of can see the 2 connectors. It has like a, basically it looks like a stair for the connectors. Alright, and then GK104 base products arriving March 23rd. So March 23rd is the launch date for the GTX 670 Ti, and then they say while other call it G4 GTX 680. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. 8-hour shift, 3 to 11, so give me a break here. Alright, so, and then NVIDIA saying it's unbeatable. That's what I don't like. Don't brag until you have the product out, because you can say, oh, it's unbeatable. Like, look at AMD and Bulldozer. They said it was a great processor, and it was a complete fluke, basically. Alright, next up, AMD 7800 series specs detailed. So let's see if I can make this bigger. View image, and that is really crappy. So let's see if I can make it bigger this way. There we go. Let me get out of the way again. I like having this TV. It blows the shit out of it in part of my language. But there you go. You can read the specs right there. I don't need to read it out. You can see it. I hope. Somewhat. I'm hoping that video editing will fix that. But 28 nanometer, 2.8 billion. Primitive rate is 860 megahertz. Can do 1.76 teraflops. See what else they got. 2 gigs of GDDR5. Memory data rate is 1200 megahertz. Memory bandwidth is 4.8 gigabits per second. I hope I'm saying that right. And then typical board power is 130 watts. And then more or less the next one is the higher end, the 7870 right here. So the 7850 is what I was reading, and then the 7870 is the next one. Of course, it's going to have higher clocks and all that fun stuff. Alright. Next up, Assassin's Creed. It's going to be taking place during the American Revolution. So they're still coming out with ideas, and here's some artwork, no release date or anything like that, and I'm trying to make the artwork blow up. So there we go. Nice Assassin's Creed picture right there with the American flag. Looks like he has a tomahawk in his hand. I wish I would have shown who he's hacking up. So let me go here. Okay, there we go. This is the cover artwork right here for the game. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. So, alright, next up, BioShock Infinite will be released October 16th, 2012. And then a international release date of October 19th. Alright, Borderlands 2 PC uses Steamworks. Pretty much, it's going to use Steam to make sure you bought a legit copy, and yeah, nothing really need to be said there. Alright, next up we have Gigabyte Z77X and the Z77X UD5H. So one is UD3H, the other is UD5H, and here they are. Here's the UD3H right here, I believe. View image, and it's gonna shrink it all to hell. So I see what they're doing. They want you to click on the pictures to blow it up. So here it is right here, and let me see if I can actually make it a little smaller because the TV is so freaking big and awesome. But here's a picture of that board. Let me go ahead and show you another picture of the other one it looks like. There it is right there. Okay. And then here's a picture right there. So there you go. This is the UD5H. Has USB 3.0, but this is interesting right here. The red. I haven't read the article, obviously, if I'm saying, oh, it's the red. I know that's FireWire. VGA, DVI, HDMI. It looks like a display port, optical port, 2 LANs, probably 5-point or 7.1 surround sound built in. That looks pretty cool. Alright, let me see if I can go into any other ones. There's another picture, and yeah. So I am trying to figure out what the red is, but they're not really explaining what the red is, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. It's not explaining that. Then right here, the G series micro board by Gigabyte. Pretty much the G1, as you know, their series, basically they usually have the gun, heat sinks, and all that crap. It looks really cheesy in my opinion. But this one they did it surprisingly. Didn't make like a little 9mm handle or something with the heatsink. They usually try to make it into a gun. So this actually looks decent in my opinion. And here it is right there. So another picture of the back. So yeah. Alright, and then here's the main board right here. This is the Sniper. It's basically a bigger brother of the Micro. And surprisingly enough, they didn't add a little gun crap on the board. I have to say that looks pretty cool. Pretty cool with the knife and the skull right here. So let me see, show you the other pictures of it. There you go. And I think pretty much now all Gigabyte boards have 2 BIOSes on them, which is really cool. So there we go. Alright, CPU Z 1.60 is out. It's going to support Ivy Bridge and knows some Trinity 2, which is the, I believe, the AMD CPUs that are out. Next up, Super Talent comes out with 2133 megahertz overclock quad channel. It's going to come, let's see, I think 4 gig sticks. Yeah, it's 4 gigs, so you can get a single model, or single module. It's available now, or you can get a kit with 4 modules. So that's pretty cool. And this is what it looks like right here. And I'm trying to see the timings. Latency. They don't tell latency. They don't do anything like that. So I'm at the clock the RAM has. I'm assuming the latency is pretty high because that's generally the case. Alright, ASUS P8Z77V Deluxe is selling in China apparently, and basically it's a guy trying to get profit, and it was like 368 bucks or something like that. But here's a picture of the box of what it looks like and everything, and basically they're the first to sell it and they're not really supposed to. Next up, G.Skill beats memory frequency world record again, 3,736 megahertz. That's just crazy and nuts. But let me see if I can bring it up, what kind of volts they're cranking. Let's see. 1.50, 1.5, and 1.60 for the XMP. And then let's see their latency. Latency is 11, 13, 13, 38, and then bank recycle time is 48. And then they were using a AMD processor at like, let me see, frequency. I'm looking for, it's sort of blurry because it's blowing up on this TV, so let me see right here. Core speed, so it's like 1 point, this would be like, I don't know, I can't tell. Picture's too small, wish it was bigger. Let me see if I can blow it up here. Alright, core speed is 1000 in 2.1 megahertz. So that's like 1.6 gigahertz, I think. Alright, next up is ASRock. Again, fatality. Oh, we're coming out. This is basically what's going on. OCZ has fatality PSUs coming out, and ASRock, I think last week I was talking about this. So here's one motherboard right here if you're interested. And here is the other one. So again, they want to emphasize quality. As I said before, you want to emphasize quality, don't have some guy's name and him making money off of it. But this is probably one I would get, is the Extreme Z77 Extreme 6 motherboard. Alright, here it is right there. It's nice and black. It looks pretty cool with the gold accent or yellow accent or whatever color you want to call it. Right here, it's a little bit of silver and black. That looks pretty cool in my opinion. Alright. And here's the back. and you have DVI, VGA, HDMI, you have optical, you have one Ethernet port, 2, 4, you have 4 USB 3.0s in the back, FireWire, all that good stuff. So, next, OCZ technology to showcase our industry-leading SSDs at CeBIT. So it's talking about new technology coming out and everything, so that'll be awesome. Anytime there's a leap in advancement in SSDs, that's always good. Alright, next up, Intel confirms Ivy Bridge core processor specifications. So that's good. So if anybody that wants an Ivy Bridge, you can look up the specs. Alright, if you can read that, there's some of them right there. That's the first picture, I think, or second. So there you go. I'm thinking I'm blocking some of them. I apologize for that. So there you go, little specs right there. So if anybody is interested in the Ivy Bridge processor, go ahead and check out the link description below. Alright, first laptop with 4.16 gigahertz clock speed revealed at CES, I believe, or CeBIT. And again, this is the same laptop I was talking about where I had 32 gigs of RAM. This is a desktop replacement, and I guarantee you it's going to be a desktop price for it as well. So, let me see if I can pull up some pictures. There it is right there. And then again, 4.16 gigahertz. And it looks like the keyboard is color changing. I wouldn't want that to look like that. Red, purple or magenta, blue, light blue, and yellow. Who would make their keyboard that color? Wow. Okay. And then again, MSI coming out with new G-series gaming laptops and all this stuff. So this is really coming out for the PC market, or I should say laptop market. If you're into gaming and you are wanting to be on the go, this would probably be the perfect little device for you. And it'll probably be a lot of money too. Let me see if they even mention the price. Nope, no price. You know what they say about no price? No price means more than likely you can't afford it. So I don't see any prices at all on here, unfortunately. Alright, next up, ADATA XPG overclocking series launching the 1600 megahertz CL9 8 gigabit or gigabyte memory density. So here it is right here. Low voltage, and basically they're doing it low voltage so we can overclock the crap out of them. So that's always good, right? Overclocking is awesome. Alright, next up, AMD Catalyst application profiles 12.2 is up. Fixes Darkness, Kingdoms of Amalur, and a couple other games. Alright, next up, as you guys know, I should have had these articles switched, but basically Windows 8 preview is out, so if you guys are interested, I highly suggest getting a backup hard drive and loading up Windows 8 there and seeing if you really like it. I personally won't be getting Windows 8 unless something changes my mind, just due to the fact the interface is more for, in my opinion, tablet based. So they're trying to make one operating system for all devices pretty much. So go ahead and download Windows 8 Preview and then download AMD drivers if you do have a AMD card and you want to use Windows 8. That being said, I can go ahead and get rid of that one and talk about an article that I like. Water cooling. Alright, these are the new water cooling blocks by Coolants. You have the CPU 370SA, and then, if I can move the picture, excuse me, the CPU 370Si. Basically, one's AMD, one is for Intel, and they have a price point $59 and $64. So more or less, if you look at the design, excuse me, it more or less looks very similar to a Raystorm, in my opinion, and that's who they're going after, is Raystorm, because Raystorm goes for $59.95, and it's like 3 degrees behind the HF, I think. Alright, next up is XSPC. They're finally coming out with a 7970 water block. So here it is. It's going to be for, $131, I believe. So there's a nice big picture that you guys can see. All copper. There you go. Some pretty little pictures, and there you go. That's what it looks like on the card. So it's going to include basically 2 G1/4 ports, which is pretty much standard on all water cooling products. Alright, AMD lowers Phenom 2 prices by 15%. And let's see, the highest is the Phenom 2 X6, which is the 1075T, and it lowered 8.8%, and then that's not the highest, but the highest is the Phenom 4 965. That's 14.8% right there. The lowest is the FX 6100 Black Edition, and it dropped in 6.5%. And basically, if you want to upgrade your gaming rig, get a Phenom 2 processor. Don't get the bulldozers. Basically, the bulldozers are competing with the Phenom 2s. So this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to upgrade if they're dropping their prices. Alright. Mozilla boot to Gecko operating system launched. So I'm guessing this is going to be implemented on mobile devices, maybe some computers and everything like that. And here is a picture what it looks like. So I wonder if I can download it. If I can download it, I will. See here, it's an open source alternative to the likes of Apple, iOS, Android, and Windows Mobile. So that's pretty interesting. So that'll be cool if you can buy your phone and then choose what operating system that you would want on it. That would be pretty awesome in my opinion. But you know that's not really going to happen. So we'll figure it out. I'm going to see if I can put it on my phone actually. Alright, next up, Raspberry Pi is now selling. This is a great little device. One goes for $25, and then if you want the one with the, I think, the Ethernet, USB and Ethernet, it's going to be Model B, and that's going to be $35. And a lot of people want to get that. So, next up, Take MS unveils the UTX 2200, or I should say 2200 series solid state drives. They're going to come in 60 gig, 120 gig, 240 gig, 408 or 480 gigs. Each model will be backed with a 2-year warranty and will be bundled with a 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch adapter. Now that's cool. 2 years for a drive, that's awesome. Let's see what else it's going to talk about. It's used, supports trim, NCQ supports, and the estimate of being used for 2 million hours. That's a lot. I'm not going to do the math in how many years it is, but I'm assuming that's pretty a long time. Maybe 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. That's a lot, and that's awesome. But I guess that is it. And I'm sorry if I messed up a little. I'm tired, and the time is 11:10 p.m. and I usually make these 11 p.m. or not 11 p.m. but 3 p.m. excuse me. And tomorrow I'll have to be at work again from 3 to 11 p.m. so that's why I'm making it so late. Alright, and basically a guy was saying, how does your PC look when it's hooked up to your screen behind me? And it looks pretty damn good in my opinion. Keep in mind this is just from my laptop. via USB. I'm not sure if you can see that, but or not USB, but HDMI. I have my other computer hooked up down here that uses HDMI, and I'm actually able to configure the screen to the right size and everything, so it does look good. And I appreciate everybody watching my videos and understanding that I'm tired and everything. And as always, comment, subscribe, rate this video, click that like button. Guys, have a great day. Bye.